All right, so before I start talking about introspection, I just want all of us to notice one thing in today's world. Every single day, the things that we buy, it comes with instructions. It comes with a manual of some sort, like literally everything. Whether it be a TV from Best Buy or even a box of pasta from Walmart, there'll be instructions somewhere on it or inside of it. Now, not only that, but our teachers are giving us instructions every single day on certain assignments. And my parents are giving me instructions on things that I already am doing every single day. Now, these instructions, these manuals, they're put there with the purpose to reduce the complexity of these actions or products that we are using. But it's quite ironic when you realize that the most complex things in the whole world, our human brain, it comes with no instruction. It comes with no manual. So how are we as humans expected to understand it, control it, and utilize it to achieve our goals and fulfill expectations without having instructions, without knowing what to do? Well, one solution that's helped me is introspection. So introspection is basically the examination or observation of one's own mental and emotional processes. You're basically sitting face to face in front of your brain, unbiased, and seeing what thoughts went through my head. Probably you're going to be focusing on more specific things that you regretted, the mistakes that you made, and trying to improve them. Now, I was introduced to introspection through my religion about 3 years ago. And from that point on, I've been trying to utilize it every single day to the best of my ability. Introspection actually helped me just about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So about 2 weeks ago, I was assigned an essay from my English class. Now, I thought to be a young, responsible, enthusiastic high school student and start working on it 2 days before it was due. And so that's what I did. I sat down to work on it. Looking at the instructions, like we said, looking at the, looking at the outline, starting to organize my thoughts, and my phone buzzed. Right on my table, right there, it just buzzes. Now, I'm sure we've all had this feeling, but your whole brain just, boom, locked on that phone. Forgot about the essay, just who texted me? I got to see who texted me. And so I did what most of us in this room would have done. I picked up my phone. I went to respond to that text, and I'm giggling a little bit, responding to that, and then I opened a different app. And then a different one. And then a different one. And before I knew it, I was just scrolling through apps and ended up wasting the whole time that I had set aside to work on this essay. I felt a strong sense of regret. Why did I waste my time? I made a mistake. So I got over that, went along with my day, but that night, following my daily practice, I sat down to introspect, just for about 2 to 3 minutes. So I started this introspection by remembering all the details. All right, where was I sitting? What was I looking at? What was I reading? Where was my phone placed? What caused me to pick up my phone? Who had texted me? What apps did I go through? Literally every detail that I could think of surrounding the situation. Next, I started analyzing my thoughts. All right, well, what thought told me it was okay to just go on my phone? What thought said, forget about the essay, let's just see who texted you? What thought is causing me to regret it at this specific moment? Now, I've understood the problem, I've understood my thoughts, and I've understood the situation. So next, I set a goal. All right, well, I got distracted because the phone was right in front of my face and because it buzzed. So let's eliminate that. Tomorrow, I'm going to sit down to work on this essay again, and I'm going to put that phone under the bed. And I'm going to power it off so I can't hear a thing. I even went further to tell myself that I would work for 45 minutes before taking a 5-minute quick break. And then lastly, I motivated myself. I proved to myself that I could do this goal, and I was going to do it tomorrow. And so the next day comes, I go to school, everything happens the same way, and once again I sit back down to work on that essay. And it's not like I'm going to say I introspected, so I didn't get distracted at all. I was just able to, be completely focused on the essay the whole time. Because that wasn't the case. I did get distracted. But I can promise you that every time I picked up my phone, I felt that regret. I remembered that goal that I had set from last night's introspection. And I found myself literally putting my phone away and starting to work on the essay again. Not only that, but after the essay was done, after I had turned it in before 12 a.m., I was able to be happy. I felt a strong feeling of satisfaction. Now, this was completely opposite from what I had felt the day before. The day before, it was sad. It was regretful. But now it was happy. Even at 12 a.m., I was just jumping out of my seat. Let's go, I did it, right? But you may have noticed that introspection has 4 very key steps. So the first step was recall. You start by remembering all the details, building that situation around you. Once you've understood that, you analyze. The most important step of introspection. What thoughts went through my head? What thoughts are making me regret this action that I did? And then, once you've understood the problem, you set a goal. Okay, well, I know the problem. I know this caused it. How can I prevent that from happening again? Be specific with your goal. Be reasonable with your goal, and be realistic. And lastly, you motivate. Many times, this step is undermined as not necessary. But I can guarantee you that this might be one of the most important steps in the process of introspection. You absolutely have to convince yourself that every single one of you can do it. And the goal that you're deciding is very possible. Now, introspection is just not helpful in controlling your procrastination, even though I'm sure we can all relate to that. Introspection can play a key role in understanding your emotional processes as well. Gaining more control and understanding emotions such as fear, anger, sadness, and other emotions that we tend to regret after committing to them, after being influenced by them. So for me, this specific emotion was fear. Specifically fear when trading in the stock market. So those of you who are familiar with stock trading may know of a very important trait that is seen in most successful traders, which is the trading psychology, or mastering the trading psychology. In basic terms, the trading psychology is trying to create a balance between 2 specific emotions, fear and greed. Fear, because if you're too fearful, you won't take any risks, you won't take any positions, and miss out on everything. And if you're too greedy, you will take too many risks and have the potential to lose everything. So for me, this was fear. Despite being surrounded by the right traders, right mentors, and having studied this type of stuff for almost a year now, I would always find myself too scared. Too scared to click that button. Too scared to be confident in the statement that I made. Despite being so interested in finance and so interested in stock trading, I started thinking, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just not that type of guy. But that's when introspection played a role. After every trading day, I would introspect back with the 4 key steps that we discussed. I would recall, all right, what details that happened, what actions had I done, what had I looked at that whole day. I would analyze, what caused me this thought of fear, and asking myself questions to get to the bottom of that fear. And just by these 2 steps, I was able to realize that this sense of fear was caused by my lack of confidence. That was the problem. I wasn't confident in my abilities. So I set a goal. I said, I will be more confident if I ask another peer if they agree with me on a certain decision. And that's what I started doing. And finally, motivate. I motivated myself and showed myself I could do it, and I was right many times during that day. All I had to do was control that fear, control that one emotion. Now, not all of us are such nerds of stock trading, and not all of us want to master the trading psychology. Every single one of us has a different goal. We will all face a different journey to this goal, and we all have different obstacles on these journeys. But in a nation like the United States of America, I can promise you that 99% of your problems can be traced back to your mental and emotional processes. This one fact makes it absolutely crucial to understand these processes and set goals so you can improve on them. This brings me to one key trend that I've noticed in society, and literally everyone that I've met or got to know in the past 3 years. People who are successful, people who are happy, people who are satisfied with what they've done in life tend to control their mind. They tend to control their mind to accomplish their goals, exceed their expectations. And people who are unsatisfied, unhappy, and unsuccessful in life tend to make decisions when being controlled by their minds. So let's start today. Let's start tonight by introspecting on today's actions and become better people tomorrow than we are right now. Thank you.